Hello builders, parents, and collectors. This episode of the Creation Evaluation Station, we are going to be evaluating this. Back to Ninjago. Yes, we're starting the Ninjago Islander series. It's only got 4 sets in it, so it won't be very long. I'm going to be working on this and trying to finish up my Monkey Kid sets. We'll probably throw in a non-Lego review in there as well. But yeah, if you're not familiar with my channel, I do in-depth reviews of models and construction kits, both new and old, mostly Lego, but other products as well. I also do reviews and discussions of other creative works such as movies, video games, and animation. Because they are in-depth reviews, they can be on the long side. I don't suspect this will be too long, but there are timestamps on the red line right here on the bottom of your screen or in the description that you can use to jump around to your favorite part and skip the stuff you don't want to see, or to just use as a bookmark to come back and see at a later date. So, back to this guy here. Take a close look at that. It's a cute little dragon. I don't think this guy belongs to any particular ninja. There's the back. Nice bigger picture. I must say, I really like the packaging on this. Got quite some character, and I'm wondering, I've not seen the series, but if you see here, there's purple lightning in the very background. And I'm wondering if that might even be a little teaser, a little Easter egg to what's yet to come with the Crystal King that happens this past year. Well, this came out, what, 2001? What? 2021, excuse me. Speaking of which, let's get down to its details. It's set number 71746. Is for ages 8 and up, and has 506 pieces. And let's see, it retailed on the Lego website for $39.99. Now here's the bad news. It's now December as of recording this, almost the end of December, and this is being discontinued this month. And currently on their website, they're sold out, so they aren't probably going to get any more in. But if you probably can still find these in some stores, maybe. Yeah, they're being discontinued. So, they were first released in the March of 2021. So they've been around for about a year and a half or so. Good. Yeah, it's had a good run. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun little dragon to put together. Let's go open this up and see what's inside. Here we have the contents of the box, starting with the instruction booklet, which is fairly thick and also very big. It's magazine size, and it's also warped, which is something I'll just have to deal with. We have a small sticker sheet. I probably won't put these stickers on, but it's kind of sad they weren't prints since you can see in the picture there's going to be part of the dragon. As far as bags, we have bag 1, bag 2, bag 3, bag 4, bag 5. There's quite a few bags here, but really, I think this one's got the most amount of pieces. It's just how they divided it up in the steps. This bag 4 is really light. Bag 5 isn't much difference. And the first bag looks like might have all the figures in it, but we'll open them up and look at them closer. Here we have the contents of bag 1. It's mostly small parts, and we also have 3 different figures in here, which I think we're only missing 1 more. A lot of small parts. We got some gold lacquered radar pieces, disc pieces, whatever you want to call them. Transparent blue studs, probably for a stud shooter, because I saw, yeah, they're there over here. And here's our MacGuffin in the purple color, which I think is really cool. Some weapons and stuff. Oh, yes, we have 1 print here. Just this neat little icon, or decoration really. And that's bag 1. Here we have bag 2. There's a lot more parts here, a lot of plates, got some hinges, but a lot of plates, some studs on side pieces of different variety, a lot of that teal color. It's always cool to see. I actually have quite a bit of sand green here too, and what was that, dark nougat or whatever color too as well. But yeah, I was surprised to see the other colors. I was expecting mostly this teal color, but they must use that for underlying colors and the secondary colors. That's the word I'm looking for. Got some gold pieces in here as well. That's bag 2. Here we have bag 3, and once again, not quite so many pieces. A lot of duplicates, as you see here. We have these in gray, and we also have them in sand green. This is an interesting part. Now, I think I've seen it before, but I'm not sure. It's hard plastic, but then at the end, it's dual molded with like a rubber, and you can see it's a different color green as well. It's an interesting piece. I've seen it somewhere before, I swear. Then we have the dragon head. He's got some nice printing there, and then dual molded teeth, and I think the top part is dual molded as well. Maybe not, that could be painted, but definitely those lower teeth are. Really nice printing. It's too bad we can't get those other stickers and prints too, and they're mostly the same sticker as well, so they could have easily made multiples, but that's that. Like I said, we got a lot of duplicates. We got a lot of studs on side pieces here, the same kind, although we do have different ones. Bunch of small little kibbly pieces. Lloyd's over in this set, or in this bag, pardon me. Yeah, and that's it. Here we have a bag 4, and once again, not a lot of pieces at all in this one. Looks like we got the makings of some limbs here, but that's it. This is it. That's it. That's all there is. Really not a lot here. One more bag to go. Here we are at the last and final bag, and once again, there's not that many pieces. Got some hinges. We got some large golden swords. Some wedge pieces. Definitely got parts for another pair of feet, limbs of some kind. And we have a lot of little parts. That's pretty much it for the bulk of this bag is little small parts. Nothing too much of note. We do have one chain here, small one. But yeah, that's it. So let's go finish this guy up. Here are our leftover parts from the set, and there's a lot of nice stuff here. I mean, we got extra katanas, we got this golden blade, this little whatchamacallit, the big knife thing, yeah. Machete, there we go, a golden machete. And yeah, there's a lot of good parts here. We also got some extra masks, including this one for the bad guy, which isn't really a mask, it's used to hold the head on. I'll take a closer look at that another time. But yeah, we got quite a few little bits and pieces that could be useful, including this little arm. And along with that, there is extra ammo for Zane's little skiff there. So that's always helpful as well. Here we have our cast of characters for this set. Obviously, we have Island Zane here, and Island Lloyd, and these bad guys, question mark, island guys. This guy is called Thunderkeeper, and this is Polric. Kind of a funny name, but I think I get what they're going with it. But yeah, so these guys looking pretty snazzy. They got quite a few accessories on all of them, so we'll be taking them off. But before I do that, I just like to point out this MacGuffin piece. I really think it looks cool in that purple color. I've seen it in other colors, but I really like that purple. And Zane, I like Zane's black bow and arrow. I guess it's supposed to be kind of representing of mechanical, not mechanical weapon necessary, but yeah, I guess mechanical is the right word. More mechanical type bow and stuff. Now the bad guy's weapons, they're kind of weird. I mean, this guy's got a spear, but it's white. I guess it's made of bone, which kind of is like Lloyd's bone over here. I'll just talk about that in just a moment. But this Pollock guy, his weapons, I guess, are supposed to be daggers, but they're at weird angles, and just the way he's holding them and stuff, they look more like dowsing rods. No. What's going on there? There's something different, anyways. I think that's what they were going for. Kind of a different looking dagger. Front curved blades? I don't know. Now, Lloyd over here, he's got some interesting gear as well. He's got this bone, which really isn't a weapon accessory. This is what the dragon in this set likes to play with. That's what the bone's for. But then he's got this gold blade with a tassel, only it's a machete, which I kind of like that. I find that interesting rather than a usual gold tasseled blade that he, I think, first got in the Ninjago movie. I don't remember, but that looks kind of neat and it's kind of fun for a different weapon. It makes sense. Jungle machete. You're going through the jungle and you're cutting down the branches. Although why we would use a gold machete on it, I don't know. But still, something different for this wave. So let's take off all these beautiful accessories, including some masks and things, and take a closer look at it. Okay, we've had this guys all stripped down, and definitely some nice printing here. I'm pretty sure these are all new torsos for this guy, the ninjas, this season of the ninjas. Very nice looking. I could be wrong about that. You see so many of these and they all look the same. But Lloyd's head is definitely new, because you notice he's got these stripes on his face, like camo painted on him, and it's on the back side as well. But we'll look at that in a moment. Moving on over to the villains here, so to speak. Their bodies are the same, so nothing amazing there. Their heads are essentially the same, except for the double-headed guy, who does have a different face. I don't know if that face is used in some of the other sets as well for just regular guys. I don't know what these guys are supposed to be with those tusks or whatever. Are they trolls or orcs or something? Not sure. They're just island guys, and as far as I know in this as much as I know in this one. Now, I didn't take all this guy's stuff off. You can see his head, double heads there, and mainly because this stuff doesn't really hide anything, and it's also designed to kind of, give it a more solid appearance rather than just stacking the heads on top of each other, which you could do. You don't need the little neck support thing there. It's interesting, but it's basically a mask in a navy blue color. We get an extra one of those as well, so that's a little bit different. I don't think we have one in navy blue, but turning them around, we see Lloyd is the only one who's got a rear face. Zane doesn't, like usual. That back printing looks really nice, just like the front. Same goes for the island guys. They don't have double printing on their back, but I find this interesting. See, these heads are the same, and they have this white printing on the back. Meanwhile, let's move his hair off to the side here. The second head here has got the same pattern, basically only in black. Well, it may not be exactly the same pattern. It's hard to tell with that white, but it's definitely similar and is black, and I don't know what the significance of that is, but it's kind of interesting. But yeah, there are those guys. These figures look amazing. No opacity issues that I can see. So let's get on to the main review. So we've got everything here assembled, and it looks really great. And yes, the dragon can stand on its hind legs, but its tail is touching the ground just a little bit. It gives it a little bit of more balance. You can't move the tail anyways up and down, so it's gonna hit the ground if you try doing a stance like this. It can stand probably a little bit higher if you fold the arms up underneath it a little bit more, the front arms. Because when I was building it, before I put the front arms on, I could get it even better balanced on the hind legs. You got to make sure these are really spread out this way. Well, I'll show that in a moment. Before I get any further with that, we looked at all the figures, so we're gonna pull them away. Ah! Dragon attack. As you can see, he's not super balanced, but let's look at the other build here, this little skiff. We'll take Zane off as well. There's 2 studs right there for him to stand on. I really like this skiff. They could have really made something simple, but they used quite a few parts to get the appearance, and I appreciate that. And it's also got some nice stud shooters here on the side. This little sail here is nice, and yeah, I really quite amazed by it. Like, it almost looks like a mini build for some kind of super boat, super jet boat or something, but it's not. It's supposed to be a small little skiff for Zane. I like the underside here. They use the blades and stuff to give it some kind of rudder, and we got some propulsion so it can, I guess, fly maybe. That's what these look like. Upwards propulsion. Only has these little things for forward propulsion, and then it has a sail. Well, I don't feel like the sail really does much good. It's more for a flag than it is a sail, but it's really nice little build too. Yeah, this was amazingly nice for such a small thing. I really appreciate such a small, charming build. Would make an excellent poly bag or something. But getting on to the main attraction here. Yes, this guy can stand. Like, if you put him too far forward, he won't. He's got to lean back, and he's kind of almost have to stretch it out so these are almost sitting on the ground, but not quite. And then his tail will hold him there. You can get him up just a little bit, and the tail just barely touches. And I think that if it wasn't for the fact that the tail won't stay up, he would balance perfectly on his back legs like this. They don't show it too much in the promotional materials, because he's essentially supposed to be a 4-legged dragon, which we'll get him down here on all 4s, because he's built very differently in the fact that he's got this built-in torso bend like this. It's one reason why he does stand on his hind legs so good, but it's also designed to be so you can get him in a really good doggy pose, because he's pretty much like a big old puppy dog. Quite a character. This dragon's probably got the most character personality of any of the dragons, other maybe than Lloyd's ultimate dragon, which just feels like a big beast. But yeah, so, and we also have a nice saddle on his back. Now, you can take this off if you want to go just bareback, or make him look free and wild. It's just attaches by 4 studs on the back there, so that's always a nice option to have with dragons. You don't always want them tethered. Now, he does have kind of flimsy wings, but he's supposed to be a jungle dragon, so you can see that these wouldn't be really meant for flying. He's crawling around the jungle and stuff, and also makes him he could use these to chop through the foliage, since they do look quite sharp. I don't I don't know for sure what they're going for with the more skeleton wings, but yeah, that's what it kind of looks like. Now, he does have a chain wrapped on his one wrist. I don't know the story behind that, other to make him look like he's badass and escaped from somewhere. But maybe there's more to that story in the show. Now, as far as articulation, he's got jaw articulation, and he can have a really extremely bad overbite. Can even move the tongue around in his mouth a little bit if you want to look a little less doofy. You could always just take that off too. But that's probably the least overbite his jaw he can have. The tongue kind of gets in the way from closing the mouth all the way. He's got these nice horns up here made out of skeleton pieces. So there's a joint there at the base of his neck as well, or base of his skull, and then at the base of his body. So he's got two joints here, which gives him plenty of motion. He could use a little bit more downward motion for when he's standing up, but the pieces here kind of block that. I don't think that's too detrimental though. And you could maybe just turn this around and give it a little bit more room. But maybe not, because that might block. Let's try it out. See if that blocks the... No, that's pretty good. I like that. We're going to leave that right like that. Maybe I put it on wrong too. I don't know. Sometimes you make mistakes and don't realize it. Alright, so he's got click hinges on the shoulders, and then just ball joints for the feet, and I think that's pretty much for the same for the back. He's got no elbows or knees. They're kind of just built at a different angle. Yeah, he's got click hinges and then a ball joint for each foot. It's amazing with those simple, small, mixable ball joints, as you can see back here, that they don't he can stand up in a pose like that. They're good enough to support. Now, yeah, there's a bent waist here, but this is not a joint. It is permanently bent like that, designed on purpose. I like that. And you could maybe redesign it if you wanted it to be straight. I don't think it would be too hard. And the wings have one ball joint on each side. I'm not sure why they designed it like this. I would have rathered it come straight out so you could get a little bit more movement with these, because you can only go this far down with the joint, because the way it's designed with the ball joint coming straight off the wing like this, it goes up. But I don't know why they did that way. It's partially the appeal they were going for, and I almost think, let's see if we can do it. It looks better with the back swept wings like this. But the pictures always show it kind of like this, which is, I don't know, a bit weird. And then as far as the tail, there are just actually made hinges going all the way through here. And yes, I said made. They're crafted. They're built hinges, not ones that are hinge pieces. And it's got a nice soft rubber tail, which that also kind of helps with them standing too, because then, you know, you're not putting a lot of pressure on this that will damage it, while the rubber will absorb some of that stress and be safer and less likely to break on you. And it's designed to be a waggy tail because he's a silly puppy dog. But it also reminds me, at least the design of the tail, very much of a thick iguana tail. I think I'm getting that right. Yeah, I think iguana is what I'm thinking. And considering iguanas live on islands, like the Galapagos, I think. I'm not sure about that, but yeah, it reminds me of those large iguanas and their tails. The only thing it's missing is maybe some ridges on the back or something. And overall, the dragon design kind of reminds me of an oversized iguana. Even the head a little bit, except for the horns and stuff. But it's got some really nice printing on here. It's too bad there's the stickers and stuff could have been prints as well. The prints are almost all the same. There's a print that goes on a slope piece several times, and it's like the same, or a sticker, and it's like it's almost the same sticker. So you could have just simply had multiples of the same part printed, but it looks good even without the stickers. I mean, you got the printing on the head, which really pulls your attention to that anyways. You don't need a couple more prints here and there. I mean, it brings the thing together, I suppose. And regards to the color, I love this just teal color. Surprisingly, there isn't, it looks like there's a lot of teal here, but it's mostly external stuff. Like there was sand green in here, which you can see a little bit peeking out, like right there on the shoulder and some other places. But yeah, teal and like this sand nougat color, or whatever you want to call it, sand brown, wet sand color, and you also have just gold trim down his back, and that's it. There's not a lot of gold pieces. I was looking at it, I was like, man, it's deceptive looking at the parts. You get it together, it looks definitely is a teal dragon, but when you look at the parts, you're like, what color is this guy gonna be? A lot of that stuff is internal and underlay, and I kind of like that they use the sand green kind of as a low light almost. Although you don't even see it that much. I mean, there's a little bit more of it here, there, in there. Yeah, this thing's got a really nice color scheme. And not just plain teal, but it is definitely a teal dragon. So let's head back to the desk, give this a final evaluation. We are ready to give this a final eval, but first, my final thoughts. This is a really great set. There's a lot of characters, a lot of character. That the dragons is just viewing personality. The figures are really nice looking. Yeah, this is a great set. Just move on to the evaluation because I'm going to spew all over this anyways through that. Alright, so appearance. Yes, everything looks great. Even if you don't put the stickers on this thing, it looks great. Stickers may add to it just a little bit, but it really doesn't need it. It looks really good. I think there were some stickers for this as well, but this almost doesn't need it either. Appearance, the dragon looks really cool, looks organic. It has definitely a look of a reptile, you know, kind of scales and everything else. The figures all look amazing. And even this small build over here, which could have been a really simple side build, is very complex, and that's also why it doesn't really need stickers. It could have the stickers, but with all the pieces, the little tiny pieces they use to give it different angles and different, you know, parts and kibble sticking out, it looks great. Yeah, so appearance easily got a 10 with this. Now, moving on to function. It's a critter set. It's a dragon set. So does the dragon function like it's supposed to? For the most part, yes. I have one complaint, and that's primarily with the wings, and it could be easily fixed and changed. So I ended up taking a point off just because of that. But everything else works fine. I mean, you complain about no knees or whatever, but I don't think this needs it. It's a smaller dragon, excuse me. Dying here. Neck works great. I mean, maybe one complaint about the tail is you could use maybe a joint up and down, but then you would lose kind of the swagging function, which is a function. Its ability to stand upright, this unique kind of angle here gives it some interesting positions. This is kind of like, oh, well, why doesn't it have a jointed abdomen? No, it's bent like that way so you could do what you want with it. Same with the knee, goes for the knees.
Um, so yeah, he is great as far as function. Now, there's not much functionality in this. If the skiff goes across the water, we'll leave that alone. But that's nothing bad there. So I ended up giving function a 9. Just took a point off kind of for the wings that, I don't know, the way they designed it. I don't like the orientation and stuff. But other than that, this thing is great. Now, as far as fun, this got a little bit tricky because I'm like, well, good guys versus bad guys. I mean, we got an equal number of minifigures for good guys versus bad guys. Like I said, I don't think the island guys are strictly bad guys. I think they're kind of neutral, or at least they're bad at first, whether there's a misunderstanding or what. I'm not sure what all's going on with the story. You Ninjago, big Ninjago fans that have seen every episode will have to let me know down in the comments. So, but yeah, I was having trouble figuring that out. I mean, the good guys both have a dragon and a little boat. And under those standards, yeah, it's a little bit off. But if we look at it differently, this dragon is tons of fun. It's just, it is. Even this little boat thing is fun. And granted, you got the bad guys in there. They give you maybe some kind of conflict or something going on. But there's still a lot of fun to have with this. And the build was fun to put together. I loved putting this together. I was so surprised by how nice that is, and the building of the dragon was pretty cool too. It's interesting watching it come together with the different colors and how all that works out. Yeah, I mean, on one hand, it is kind of a basic build. Build the arms, build the legs. But the torso was definitely interesting with the building the angle piece in there. And I've seen this tail done before, so it's not like something new. It's still, if you never put one together, it's still kind of interesting to see how that's built with the built hinges, not actual real hinges. So, yeah, I gave, what did I give fun? I gave fun a 10. Yep. Despite the kind of lopsidedness of good guys and bad guys, so to speak, the overall fun this exudes kind of overshadows that. So it got a 10 for fun. Now, as far as techniques, a lot of really neat little techniques went into this. This boat is so amazing. There's a lot of good stuff there. With this guy, there's a lot here. I mentioned it's kind of a basic build, but even when you look down on a smaller scale, there's a lot going on here. And it also adds up. Like I said, I look at the pile of parts and like, how am I going to get a teal dragon out of this? Because there's so many other colors involved. But when you get done, this is a teal dragon. And just neat how that's done. Even the gold striping down the back. It's really good. And I gave function a 10. No, excuse me, I gave technique a 10. I'll get it right eventually, right? So that brings our total. You add all that up, you get a 39. I almost said 49. You get 39, you divide that by 4, and you get a 9.75. Which we are going to round up to a 10. This thing is getting a 10. Now, as far as price, more good news. This cost $39.99 originally. And had 506 pieces. Quite a few pieces. Now, granted, there's some small stuff, but there's some large stuff in here as well, including that printed head and stuff. Anyways, you do your math and divide one by the other, and you get a 7 cents per piece. That's a really good price. It's, 3 cents below our 10 cents per average. So the price of the set is really great. It's really fun set. I was debating because maybe it could be a little bit cheaper, but really, it doesn't have to be. I mean, 500 pieces, it could easily been a $50 set. Instead, it's a $40 set. So, I gave this an E. This set is getting an E for excellent, and that gives it probably the best score I think I've given any set, which is a 10E. Now, it's not a solid 10. That's why I give the breakdown so you can see what aspects were good about it, not just give you an overall number. What little complaints I had with this are so minuscule. Yeah, this got a 10E, and the price is amazing. The set's amazing. If you can still get your hands on this, I would recommend it. Anyways, yeah, this was a really great set. Again, guys can let me know down below. I mean, maybe this dragon just isn't your cup of tea. You like a mean, lean, Mr. Clean dragon. Or, you know, this one's fun and has a lot of character, personality to it. So let me know what you guys think down below. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. And, of course, if you're new here and haven't yet, subscribe. Hit the notification bell. But also check out my links to Twitter and Facebook. You can follow me on there. You will get notifications faster on there than Facebook. They're oftentimes a day late, even sometimes longer. I don't know why. But yeah, go ahead and do that. And I think that's it for me here, the Creation Valuation Station, reminding you that creativity is key.